Have you ever heard a sound so haunting, so bone-chilling, that it stayed with you long after it ceased? Well, stop scrolling, because today we delve into the heart-stopping legend of Hollow Peak. A tale that will resonate deeply enough to make your heart skip a beat. This is The Dreadful Choir of Hollow Peak. The story begins centuries ago in a forgotten village nestled beneath the shadow of Hollow Peak. The villagers, simple yet superstitious folk, spoke of an ancient divine choir that sang on stormy nights. It was believed that these spectral voices brought tragedy to anyone who dared to listen. The melody, they said, could break the veil between life and death. It was so captivating, so enthralling, that one could lose all sense of reality and willingly walk into the clutches of the unseen. Enter Eerie, our protagonist, a musicologist with a soul driven by curiosity and a passion for uncovering the mysteries of sound. Eerie had spent her life tracking down rare musical artifacts, but when she first heard whispers of the choir of Hollow Peak, an inexplicable pull urged her to explore. The villagers warned her, "The peak sings only for destruction," they said. Yet Eerie wasn't deterred. Equipped with her beloved sound recorder and an old journal that referenced the choir in cryptic poems, Eerie ascended the Eerie forest trail toward the infamous peak. From the start, she noticed that everything around her seemed desolate. The air was unnervingly still, as if all of nature held its breath. Shadows stretched unnaturally long, and faint whispers seemed to drift between the trees. The journal offered a warning. To listen is to open yourself. To escape, plug your ears. Just as Eerie crested the ridge, the first notes reached her ears, faint at first, distant and sorrowful, like a lullaby, sung by anguished souls. She paused, her pulse quickening. The air grew heavier, and she struggled to breathe. Against her better judgment, she pressed on and set up her recorder. The notes began to weave a melody, intricate, hypnotic, almost alive. It wasn't just music. It was a story of suffering, betrayal, and longing. The air shimmered with unseen vibrations. Eerie couldn't resist. She stood transfixed as the voices grew louder. Yet there was no apparent source. It was as if the mountain itself was alive, singing through the wind and stone. Hours passed in what felt like mere minutes. Eerie didn't notice her hands trembling or the chill creeping into her bones. Her ears ached, yet she couldn't pull away. The melody unraveled her strongest emotions: sadness, euphoria, an inexplicable fear that slithered up her spine. Then, suddenly, the sound stopped, leaving a deafening silence. Eerie's recorder had captured the entire encounter, but little did she know, this was only the beginning of her ordeal. The villagers had warned her, after all. As she descended the peak, carrying what she thought was evidence of a supernatural phenomenon, Eerie began to notice the strangest things. At first it was subtle. Her footsteps echoed too loudly, almost as if someone shadowed her. The whispers among the trees began to sound eerily like the choir's melody. The deeper she descended into the forest, the harder it became to stay grounded in reality. Then, on the third night after returning home, Eerie played the recording. As the choir's voices poured into her living room, she felt an overwhelming dread. The lights flickered. The air tightened, as if invisible hands pressed against her throat. And then she saw them, spectral figures, blurry and undefined, moving along to the haunting melody within her own house. They didn't speak. They only sang. Desperate, She tried to destroy the recorder, but it was too late. Something had followed her from Hollow Peak, something tethered to the melody. The moment she heard the music, she had unwittingly invited it into her life. And now, the melody wouldn't stop. It replayed endlessly in her mind, keeping her awake through the nights, scraping away her sanity. Erin's research into the choir revealed that no one had survived listening to it for long. Whoever heard their voices faded into obscurity, as if erased by the same melody that ensnared them. So, dear listener, heed this warning. Some things are best left undiscovered. Hollow Peak may appear silent, but its dreadful song echoes still, waiting for a new listener. Would you dare to investigate the truth behind the choir's melody? Or will you, too, fall to its haunting embrace? Now you know the tale of the dreadful choir of Hollow Peak. If you find yourself humming an unsettling melody that you don't remember learning, stop. Stop immediately. Because some truths are better unsung. Share this video if you love a good scare, and stay tuned for our next chilling episode of Spooky Tales Unveiled. Until then, don't listen too closely to the night.